Hello, hello. My name is Pius Mushiri Mugo, and I'm the Managing Director of Nabo Capital. What do I do at Nabo Capital? It's a very simple thing. We are in the business of making people wealthy. So welcome to my class in session on investing with purpose. Let's have some fun.
I'll ask the question. Is it possible to open, for example, if we do agree,
Yes.
listen, I'm not the best at this financial management thing. Does Nabo Capital have options for under 18?
You can. There are very many people who've opened accounts with their kids, but with their own KYC. I can open an account for my child, but with my KYC. When my child becomes of age, guess what? I'll just transfer the account to them. In fact, even these education plans is one of the things I've been saying. What do you do with a portfolio that has fully educated your child and your child has finished? On their wedding day, it can be one of the gifts that you can give them. You say, my son, this portfolio has educated you. And here now I pass it on. Now use it to educate your own children and create more portfolios. Now you're empowering. That now can go to multiple generations. They will do the same thing to their children and the children to the other children. That portfolio may have started with 2 million. It will be 1 billion.
Yep.
Some years to come.
Yep. And this is the concept that we're not taught. Every shilling counts, consistency counts,
Yes.
step by step grows the portfolio. Discipline, putting in and not taking out of the principle.
Yes.
Don't kill the cow that is giving you the milk.
No.
You get?
No.
Find it a mate and get another calf.
Yeah. But we need to come back to the person who is the rat race. Who's
Okay.
in a rat race.
Let's go back.
And I like giving an analogy of something that happened to me. About 3 years or 4 years ago, I was going to Eldoret. Eldoret is far. And I left very early in the morning and I had passengers in my car. And I got to near Gilgil. It was like I had left about 4 a.m. in the morning. It's dark. This is not one of my familiar roads. Near Gilgil, I'm like, let me overtake this truck. And I came to the right-hand side. And the moment I started overtaking, I discovered there were 2 trucks, not one. So I had a longer distance to cover. But as I was approaching, guess what? A barrier dividing the road, immediately I saw it. And guess what? I didn't have enough time to come back into my lane. So I ended up on the wrong side of the road, where now cars are coming this way and I'm going that way. And it is dark. And in front of me, there was this truck that was coming very fast and it just started flashing lights on me. I'm coming and I can't stop. And I had to make quick decision. I could see this barrier end somewhere. It was either I speed very fast and I hope that I will not have a head-on with the truck. I'll have enough time to come back in. Or I just risk to go to the shoulder of the road and maybe we can flip, the car can flip. In an instant, I knew I had to come to the shoulder of the road. It was too risky to try and beat the truck. And I came to the shoulder of the road and the car was just like slanting on the right-hand side, but I was able to stop the car and the truck passed, of course, really hooting at me. Must have thought I'm a very drunk human being at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Bro, I'm waiting for you to tell me you woke up from a dream.
I brought my car to the shoulder of the road, and I gave myself a chance to recover. When the truck passed and the road was clear, I came back to the road and quickly got back to my rightful lane. Why am I giving this story? There are a lot of people who their expenses are ahead of their incomes. Lots of families. Those people are in a rat race. Either they're spending everything, or their incomes are not even enough to take care of their bills. Those people, they have to make a decision very quick, because their portfolio, their incomes are slower than their expenses. And they can't overtake. They can't overtake. So they need to come to the shoulder. You need to find a haven for a period of time to give yourself enough time to recover and your expenses to come behind your revenues. What do I mean? I was the captain of that car. If I didn't do that,
you'd not be seated here.
I would not be seated here, and two other people would have lost enough children would have lost their parents that day. As the captain of your family, you must be ready to make tough decisions. You need to change your lifestyle. But you're not saying change your lifestyle forever. If you're living in a place where you're paying rent 25 or 30,000 bob, you need to find a place, maybe another neighborhood, where you'll save 5,000 bob or 10,000 bob. Yeah? But you know it's for a short period of
time.
A period of time. One of the things that I did when I looked at my expenses, I was shocked how much money I was spending on buying food. I was enriching the restaurants around me. I was working for people.
You were helping their portfolios.
I was helping their portfolios, but I didn't have anything on my end of paying ourselves as a family. So I just made a radical decision. The food that was left in the evening, if it was good, the food that I enjoyed, please pack it for me, or cook some new food in the morning, put it in my bag, and go. I rarely leave my office to go and look for food. And that saves a lot of money. But you'll find somebody who is struggling, but never misses lunch, going to restaurants to look like other people, you know. So make those kind of decisions. Education. You don't have to take your kids to an academy if you can't afford it. They can go into public school for a short period of time, and then when you recover and you have enough buffer, take them back to an academy. You know, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break so that your expenses, they slow down, and your revenues or incomes, they catch up and exceed. Then you can be able to pace yourself. Your expenses should never be more than 80% of your family income. They should never be. They should never be. So if anybody is in a rat race and they are saying, I have nothing to save, they need to remember my story. You are headed for a head-on collision. And if you don't do something today about it, it is certainly going to happen. And it will have many casualties. And there might never be a recovery. Even a marriage might be lost. So make the decisions now. Difficult decisions. If you are a man, you have to be bold. Your wife will respect you for taking difficult decisions and say, I did not like the decision you made, but it was the right decision for our family. Yeah? And when you recover, you will be the hero in that family. But if you stay there and hide your head under the sand,
Ostrich mode.
Ostrich mode, then your family is headed for a crash, and it is certainly going to happen. But the good thing is you're in control of it, and you can change the course of your family.
Let's talk about this thing that you coined. I'm not sure if it's you coined it, but I heard it from you, and I adopted it from you, and I believe it from you.
Yes.
It's called, and it's part of this whole getting yourself out of the rat race.
Yes.
Pay yourself first.
Yep.
Explain it to somebody who's hearing it for the first time, and as a way to help somebody. Then, now that you've put on the side of the road, your paycheck has just come. Pay yourself first.
Yep.
What does that mean?
Pay yourself first means that you, first of all, you need to appreciate who you are. Who generates that income? It is you. For believers like me, we say tithe first. But under the sun, pay yourself first. Under the sun. And maybe it's good to give a story here. Just when I was newly married, I remember this gentleman who came to give us financial classes. And I was like, hey, seriously, I'm a CFA charter holder. You are very bold to even imagine you can give me a financial financial coaching.
Yes.
But, you know, these things I work with, you know, you need to be humble. So listen to him and give us an assignment just to to put together a family balance sheet, all those things. But the real thing that really came out was what is the biggest risk we face as a family? And the biggest risk is that we were depending on salary. And if this salary went, then we were going to be in a lot of trouble because there is no other source of income. I could not imagine going back to my father's house, you know. So we made a radical decision. Said, what do we need to do? Say, if we have two incomes in the family, then we must assume we don't have one income. Assume you have lost one income. And assume you've lost the biggest
Income.
The biggest income. How would your life look like? So my family was structured around one income, not two. All bills were paid from
One income.
And the smallest income.
And you're talking about everything.
Everything.
You are, so whose income went in this situation?
Yeah.
Whose income?
You know, for me in a family, it is.
Yes.
You don't distinguish.
Of course.
Yeah. So the smallest income that was coming in the family is the one
that became the income.
Became the family income.
My question.
We assumed we had lost the other one.
So where did that other income go? In its 100%, it went into.
It became now our pay yourself first.
It became the seed
to our portfolio.
To the portfolio.
So
let me give an example. Let's say you were making 100,000.
Yes.
And your wife was making 80,000.
Yes.
Your 100,000 leaves a picture. It becomes what is being sent into the portfolio every month.
Every month.
And your family, rent, school fees, kila kitu.
You have assumed you've already lost one income.
So that's when you started building your portfolio?
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
And has that been the same throughout?
And
was that?
Of course, there are things that changed along the way, but that is what really began. That is what gave us a breakthrough.
Wow. That was radical.
Very radical. In fact, it really taught us how to be humble. It really taught us how to, you know, you don't have, there is no one to impress. You don't have to impress anyone. You don't have to drive the best cars. You don't have to. just make sure that you have a solid plan for your family. So that was a radical decision. That was a moment to stop, to pause on the road, on the shoulder of the road, and think about your life.
Wow.
And say, my life must change from here. And it truly changed. Until today. Until today.
So that is the concept of paying yourself first.
Paying myself first. And even today, it's still the same concept. Between Joyce and I.
Your wife and your, yes.
My wife Joyce and I, we live on one income and we assume the other one does not exist.
First and foremost, I know this is a bit of a side note.
Yes.
The last time you sat on CTA, you didn't have a wife.
I didn't have a wife. But God is God.
God is God.
God is God.
That's, this just brought some tears to my eyes.
But that principle continues. It continues.
Wow.
We live on one income even today. And everything else, we pay ourselves first. So the same thing, the same decision we made many years ago, we continued doing it with my wife Joyce. Yeah, two people who contribute, but we live on one income. Why? Because we are still on the journey.
You're still on the journey.
I'm not seated here as a person who has arrived. I'm seated here giving of my own journey too, that I'm still on. Remember, I have 5 children. We have 5 children.
Yes.
Yeah? We have lots of school fees to pay.
Some at the beginning of the stage.
Our family is an institution. Yeah? At some point.
A basketball team with subs.
Yeah, at some point, my house, yeah, an average people in that house is 14. You know? So even food is a production. Food is a production. Every day is a bash. When we sit around the table, it's a bash. We are many.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you sit for Bible study, it's a church service. You know. So anyway, the thing is this: to whom much is given, much is
expected.
Much is required. So I am on this journey. We as a family, we are also on this journey. So we have to make sacrifices. Yeah. And by the way, the wisdom also is continuing to increase. Yeah, because you're saying, hey, the economy is not the same as it was 10 years ago. Kenya shilling is falling. So what do we need to think around our portfolio? You know? So we are also thinking, hey, we need to dollarize also part of our portfolio. We need to do things. We need to create dollar passive income.